365 Sports.
Indiana football are Big Ten champions. How does that make you feel?
It's a great time to be an Indiana fan. Everybody doubted Indiana. Close game. It was a really good game. Me and my friends were talking. We were like, hey, I said, I personally hate games that are close with my teams.
Yeah.
But I love it after the fact if they win.
Yep.
First time since 1967.
Yep. First, outright since 1945. And the first time since 1988 to beat Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Indiana has one of the worst records of losses.
Yep.
Of an FBS school.
Just this year became not the most losing program.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, Indiana, folks.
I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We're the Unstable Blues. Happy to present 365 Indiana Sports as part of the 365 Sports Network.
Yes, welcome back in. The Hoosiers accomplished what was impossible 20 months ago. Even so, the ultimate goal still lies ahead. How did it all go down? Let's go all in to find out.
Yes, you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at 365 Indiana Sports. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. It's time for the opening drive. The game.
The first play of the game, Fernando Mendoza got rocked.
Oh, my goodness. We were like, oh, no, not another Halliburton incident. But at the same time, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's time to see Alberto already.
Mm-hmm.
The future is still bright. So let's see what, speaking of which, Caden Curry from Greenwood, Indiana, had a phenomenal game for Ohio State. He was, especially at the beginning of the game, pretty much living in the backfield. So shout out to a fellow Hoosier, although playing for the wrong side.
Yes. The Hoosiers had the first interception, which I called.
You did.
I didn't call them having the first one, but I said they're at least going to have one.
Yep.
But it only led to a field goal, but still first points of the game.
Yep. Ohio State then intercepted back and then capitalized on that with a touchdown.
Yep. Radicic missed a field goal for IU.
Same side that Badgley missed last week.
And the Houston controversy. It was okay. It was same side.
Something about that field goal post. Then the teams traded field goals for a 10-6 halftime score.
Yes, IU forced a punt coming out of half and went on a signature balanced drive of run and pass. That resulted in an Elijah Surratt outside shoulder touchdown catch. Automatic. This is what they've been doing all year round.
Right.
Who would you want it to go to other than him?
Right, because he's Waffle House.
Yep, always open. Put IU up 13-10.
Yes,
which, by the way, you called.
I did not hear.
Not online, but I can vouch for it. He called 13-10. If it goes into the fourth quarter, 13-10, it favors IU heavily, and you said that would be the final score as well.
Yep, and I called it. So Ohio State then put together a fabulous drive, but IU stood tall in the red zone, and Ohio State missed the game-tying field goal with under 3 minutes left.
Now, I must say something as a fellow kicker,
mm-hmm.
especially if you have to kick from the hashes and stuff.
Yeah.
Personally, I never had to do that.
And the college hashes are wider than the NFL.
Yep. Yeah. Personally, I never had to do that. So very, very thankful for that. But as a kicker, because this is a 27-yard field goal, so either barely outside of 10 yards or like right at 10 yards. It's a hard kick to make. Mm-hmm. It's close.
Right. It's got to be at an angle. Mm-hmm.
And especially because you're on the hash. If it's in the middle, it's just an extra point.
Yep.
But it's on a hash. So he overcompensating, tried to get it. Reminds me a lot of what a soccer player does sometimes whenever they're kicking something and they accidentally curve it. Yep. And they're like, oh, well, I didn't mean for that to happen.
Yep.
Same type of thing. But a couple of runs on the final drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 33-yard Fernando sideline throw to Charlie Becker. What a throw.
Right.
Heisman moment.
Yes. I mean, and like
putting it in your Heisman candidate to seal the game.
Just like the Omar Cooper Jr. catch. Now, that one is probably next level, but this as well is one of those, it will go down in Indiana Hoosier folklore of this throw and catch on third down to keep possession at the end of the game. Now, they did have to punt it back a few plays later, but just the switch of field for when they did have to give it back.
I just all of those drive things. A lot more. And essentially had to get a touchdown because they had no timeouts.
Yep.
So that, like, you talk about, some people talk about, if you don't know the Hoosiers, you talk about, players that have played for the Hoosiers, and you're like, okay, who's that? Well, and then people are like, oh, they did something for the Hoosiers, right? Yeah. But they didn't really do anything in the league.
Right.
Charlie Becker might be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Not saying he can't play in the NFL.
Right.
He might be able to. But Charlie Becker will go down as someone.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that catch from Charlie Becker.
Yep, that's right. And then the guy who delivered it, Fernando, I think it's safe to say at this point, Heisman Mendoza. Just to be clear, we were one of the first to the party on that one.
Yeah.
15 for 23, 222 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a great day, but not a bad day either.
No, he reached that 200 threshold that we talk about.
Yep.
Got the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if you get 1 touchdown, 1 interception, they kind of cancel out. That's kind of my thoughts. So,
yep.
Kalen Black had 69 yards on 16 carries with a big 50-yarder.
That's right. And Roman Hemby had 13 carries for 52 yards.
Yep. Charlie Becker, career high 126 yards on 6 catches, averaged 20.1 a catch.
And you said?
Very Alec Pierce of him.
That's right. Surratt had 3 receptions for 37 and that touchdown.
Yep. Riley Nowakowski and Jonathan Brady each with 20 on 2 catches.
Yep. And on the defensive side, Rolija Hardy had 10 tackles, 1 sack, 1.5 tackles for loss.
D'Angelo Pons, a corner, had 9 tackles.
Yeah, no pass defense, which means they were getting the ball and they were attacking him, but he got them down.
Yep.
And then Isaiah Jones, been under the radar much of the season, but on our radar. 2 sacks in the game.
Yes, 5 sacks in total for the Hoosiers and 9 tackle for losses.
Yep. So with this 13-10 score and all of these things, as we were looking at the stats, so tight down the line, what is
reflected the game very much.
What is the difference in the game to you that really stuck out?
I mean, the big one to me is they ran the ball. But IU ran the ball a lot better.
Yep.
And all this talk about Ohio State's, this crushing defense,
right?
Couldn't run the ball. The IU didn't run the ball.
No, it wasn't 300 yards.
No, but that wasn't expected.
No.
But this was expected. I expected them to go for over 100 with the versatile backs that they have.
Yep.
And I forget his name, but the third string didn't even do anything.
Kobe Martin.
And he for sure could have.
Yep.
So all you OSU fans out there, not Oklahoma State, not Oregon State, Ohio State, all of you fans out there, you don't know what you're talking about. We have the best defense.
That is correct. And
you have a couple stats here.
Yeah. The run game, 118-58.
Yeah.
Speaking of the defense, we told you the sacks and the TFLs for IU. The Ohio State University only had 3 sacks and 4 TFLs. So which defense was more aggressive and got there? That would be IU. Third down, 6 of 13 to 4 of 12 for Ohio State. And then the fourth downs. IU converted their 1 and Ohio State did not. So it's those things, but we haven't said this for a while on this podcast, but we always look at the first 4, the middle 8, and the last 4. So the first 4 and the last 4 minutes of the game, and then the first and last, or the last and first 4 minutes of each.
Trying to prevent the double whammy or get the double whammy.
Right. And so the stats within that, if you total those up, which I did, Indiana won 10-0 during those time frames. And the yardage was 173-59. And most of that 59 came on one play at the very end of the game that didn't even matter because the clock was at zeros.
Yep.
They have 47 yards. So that means other than that one play, 12 yards to 173.
You dominated whenever it mattered the most.
Exactly. And that means that they were out coached, and that is proper training. Speaking of which, Farmhounds can help you train your puppies with healthy treats like a Country Mountain Dogs. Click the link in the description for more on that. That leads us to our Hoosier player of the game, presented by Underdog Fantasy Sports. I doubt that you saw some of these things coming because you are not us, but we saw it coming. So maybe you need to.
We both called a couple of these.
Yep. Maybe you need to track with us on some of the things in our previews and stack some players together. Win some money. Take a look at this from Underdog Fantasy Sports.
Football's back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code COLTS to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code COLTS. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 and up, 19 and up in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 and up, and in Colorado for some games, 21 and up in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and must be present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
So there it is from Underdog Fantasy Sports. So who is your Hoosier player of the game?
Charlie Becker, career high of receiving yards for him, making a name for himself whenever it matters. Omar Cooper went down. E.J. Williams went down earlier in the year with an injury, which allowed Becker to kind of step up to the plate, shine. And he's been continuing to do that, especially since E.J. Williams is still kind of battling that injury.
Yep.
So, truthfully, they only have one healthy wide receiver, true healthy wide receiver, because Surratt has been dealing with something. I mean, he looks good still.
Yeah.
But he's still dealing with an injury. So, the true only healthy guy is Becker.
Yep.
And looks to be that way.
And it's amazing how a guy you never knew at the beginning of the season becomes the guy when it matters the most. But there's been one guy who keeps delivering the ball in the big moments no matter what, and that is Fernando Mendoza. As Gus Johnson has said time and time again, just give him the Heisman now. It's not the numbers. It's not the stats. It's how many times can you stand in the pocket and get absolutely crushed and get back up. Get taken out on the first play, come back in one play after because you had to go out, and continue to lead the drive down and be all scratched up and beat up, and still at the end of the game say, glory to God and credit to my teammates.
Yeah.
Not take any credit for himself. That is a mark of a leader. That is potentially the mark of maybe the first Heisman winner ever to actually have long-term success in the NFL.
Maybe.
Remember, if it happens, where you heard it first, it was right here.
Yep.
So that leads us now to not third, but second in short, our only other segment that we're going to have in this episode is we react to the newly announced college football playoff bracket. All right.
Yes.
Not too many surprises up top. Indiana takes over number 1, and Ohio State moves to 2. Georgia at 3, Texas Tech at 4, Oregon at 5. Let's see, Ole Miss 6, A&M 7, and Oklahoma 8.
Yep.
Then it got a little crazy.
Bama at 9.
Well, let's set this. Duke beat Virginia,
yes,
which means the ACC is now no longer represented because they don't have a winner that is ranked in their conference.
Correct.
So ACC out. So Alabama gets 9. When many of the experts said that Alabama probably will be out because they just got absolutely trounced by Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in. They're in.
Yeah.
So that made you think, well,
because of the name,
right? Yeah.
And how much does the conference championships matter?
Yeah. Well,
why would there be a reason to play in them?
Well, yes, but credit on the other side of that argument would be not penalizing them for losing that badly. I don't know. I default to something John Gruden said. Why do we only play the best teams? Why don't the other teams also have to play? Why do they get an automatic bye week? That seems absolutely backwards.
Agreed.
Make them play too. Make everyone play on championship weekend to see where it all shakes down. But then you're talking about an extra weekend of playoff. It should be 16 teams. But starting then at the bottom then, because Duke opened up the door for beating Virginia, you had JMU and or Tulane. Well, both of them got in. Mm. But since Alabama got in, that means that you had to choose between Notre Dame and Miami.
And possibly Texas.
Possibly should have been, we think, Texas because of the upswing that they were getting at the end of the season.
Yes. I think the main contention why Texas isn't in is because they lost to Florida.
Yeah.
Well, they took their upswing after that, but yeah, you still lost to Florida.
You could say the same thing for Alabama because they lost to Florida State, though.
Very true.
I don't know.
It's different whenever you make the SEC championship.
It's different when you're Alabama.
Very true.
And you have a name and you bring in a lot of money for college football. Mm-hmm. I think they're a little concerned about losing some money if they don't put Alabama in there.
Yep. So you have the choice of Texas, Notre Dame, Miami.
And Notre Dame has been ranked above Miami every single week, even after they got adjusted after the week 2 loss in Miami. And yet, even though they didn't play, neither team played, somehow Miami jumped Notre Dame to make the college football playoff, and Notre Dame is left out in the cold. Mm-hmm. I don't get it.
Nope.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand what made this week so crucial to. Okay, yeah, Miami's ahead.
Right.
It's like they're almost like backing their own stuff up, and they're like, yeah, they should make the playoffs because of that week 2 win.
Right.
Okay, but why aren't they ahead after week 2 then?
Right. So obviously we don't have a ton of skin in that game because we're now the skin in the game that we do have is referencing last year where all of the top 4 seeds lost their game after an extended bye and basically having to play only a neutral site bowl game and not getting a home game at all, like the top seeds in the opening round. What if that happens again?
I think straight up, if it happens again, you gotta expand it to 16. It should be 16 already. I think I've been saying this since 12. Honestly, I've been saying it since
there were 4.
Since there were 4.
Yeah.
I think home field advantage is far more of an advantage than having a bye.
Yeah.
Especially whenever it comes to college. Because these kids are younger. You look at the NFL, only one team gets a bye, which I honestly like the way that the NFL is played because you got to fight really hard to get that top seed. And earlier it meant pretty much nothing
Yeah.
other than you just have an easier walk.
Right.
You still have an easier walk, but now you have a bye. These guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. They know how to train their mindset. Some of these people are 18 years old.
Yeah.
So you look at that, it's a lot harder for a bye. I think playing in your home stadium is a lot more important. I agree. I think neutral sites should be eventually take place, but kind of do it like the NFL does. I think the semis and championship should be neutral sites. Everything up until then should be home field advantage.
Yeah, I think that there is a way that they can expand to 16 teams, give all the top seeds, the top 8 a home game, do that all in one weekend, do the next round in another weekend where you have neutral site games, and then you have your championship weekend, right? You could play a game on Tuesday, play another game on Monday, and you get the semifinal and the final. I think it would be a great way to go about it. But I know there's more, but there's more logistics to it. But guess what? There's also more money, and you wouldn't have to decide between Alabama and Notre Dame and Miami. You could put them all in there.
Exactly.
And Texas, and make more money.
Mm-hmm. It works for everyone.
Please the fans, please the pocketbook, do the whole thing. Let's put to bed the 12-team playoff. It's just bad math. Speaking of which, Joi Baby Sleep Sacks can help put your little one to bed. Click the link in the description for more. So we will see if those top seeds can rebound this year. Open goal rebounder and goal setup. Click the link in the description for more on that.
Yeah.
Anything more from you?
Just one thing that Kurt Signetti said. I got 3.5 weeks to humble these guys and get ready for the playoffs.
That's right. But that's it for today. We'll be back this week with our recap of the Colts-Jaguars game and our unstable Pick 6 NFL predictions, plus our preview of the Colts' final West Coast trip to Seattle. All of those from different locations on our family vacation this week.
This is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay 365 Indiana Sport.
365 Sports.